belated happy Halloween. Somers fans getting wild on Friday night, but it was okay. Police were on hand. Class A section semi, Tuskers taking on Rye. Good start for the home team. Charlie Balancia goes 39 yards to the end zone. It was 7-0 Somers, but Rye responds before the first quarter was out. Declan Lavelle, boy, did he have a big game on Friday. A 12-yard touchdown run. It was even at 7. Late in the half now. Tuskers up 6 and looking for more. Jackson Casal to Kenny McGrain. It was 20-7 Somers. But this was big. Rye answers immediately. Time running out in the half. Lavelle throws up a Hail Mary, and Matthew Teppadino answers the prayer. A 30-yard touchdown as time expires. That was huge. Garnets were within 6 at the break. That momentum would carry over into the second half. Lavelle kept winging around the field. He connects with Mark Surhoff here for a 23-yard score. Later, it's Teppadino again. It was 28-20. Lavelle was in on all 4 of Rye's touchdowns. Meanwhile, the defense stepped up in the final 2 quarters. 4th and short late in the game. Jack Kaiser stopped inches of the first down marker. Rye would take over and run out the clock. The Garnets get revenge of their only loss this season, beating Somers 28-20. Afterwards, I caught up with the Rye star QB.
You're down 20-7 in the first half. How were you guys able to, stick with the plan and come back and win like this?
We knew that they did it to us in week 3, so we knew that we could do it. We have a great team from top to bottom. O-line played great. All the skills players played great. Defense played outstanding, and we came out with a win.
And with that, we welcome you to a section semifinal playoff edition of the News 12 Sports Rush. I'm Pete Ruff. Another thrilling game between Rye and Somers. Now, that wasn't the only sport the two schools faced off against each other this weekend. We'll have more on that a little bit later. But first, let's welcome in Mr. Andrew Rappaport. And that game lived up to the billing, I can tell you that. That's the one I went to this week.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We talked about it last week on the show. But before we get into football, 2 very important questions for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, first, what were you for Halloween? Because you mentioned at the show, we saw the police officer. Were you in that crowd?
No, I wasn't. I was just below the crowd.
Okay, so
I was behaving.
Okay.
Not that they weren't, but I was
Did you dress up for Halloween?
I did not. I had to work.
I was A-Rod.
You were?
I was. My little son, my 3-year-old son, Max, was Buzz Lightyear.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was great. And he said, Daddy, you got to dress up as something. So
Alex Rodriguez. Now, were you the broadcaster on ESPN or the Yankees?
No. I'm the big power hitter. And last question, more importantly, did you give out good candy?
Well, my wife gave out the candy. Yeah. I ate most of it, as you can tell.
We had very few visitors, but I think we gave out some good stuff. We gave out Snickers and Twix and... Here, you want to know how much
We have peanut butter cups because that's what.
Oh, that's good. Here's what I did. I'm going to embarrass myself, but I don't eat a lot of chocolate, so I don't eat any chocolate. So my wife bought Twix and Snickers and all that, and I've always seen the commercials for left Twix and right Twix, and I knew it was a joke, but I didn't know it actually says it on the label. Anyway, we can get back to football now. I just embarrassed myself.
That's our candy review.
There's my candy review.
But good win by Rye. They're moving on to the section championship for the second year in a row. Last year they lost to John Jay Cross River. Would they play John Jay Cross River again for 2 years in a row? Well, we'll find out right now, because Rye will have to play the winner of Cross River and Yorktown. And this game was good.
This was our good lacrosse matchup that we talked about.
That's right. Second quarter, Huskers threatening. Dylan Smith, short touchdown there. Town was up 6-zip. Late in the half, John Jay tried to get something going, but Luke Mercer is picked off by Ben Robinson. Yorktown went to the half up 13. Moves to the third quarter. Huskers extend their lead. It's Smith again. Just crossing the goal line, he would get in. It was 20-zip. Jay would get on the board after that, though. Mercer to Henry DeGrasse. The 6-yard touchdown made it 20-7. But Andrew, that's as close as this one would get. Yorktown goes on the road and takes down the top seed, winning 20-7. It'll be Yorktown and Rye in the championship game.
Upset, baby.
We were prepared for a war. They have great coaches, great staff, great players. Their game plan was phenomenal. And at the end of the game, we just overcame that.
We knew that number 15, Luke Mercer, was a great player, so all week we were game planning for him, just to stop him, get multiple guys on him, and we did that. And we listened to our coaches, we did what we were told, and as you can see, we only let up 7 points.
All right, here we go. Class A double A semifinal. Top seed New Row and John Jay East Fishkill third quarter. Dan Beal airs it out for Braden Rossi. 25-yard TD pass, Patriots within 7.
Close. It's close.
But 3 minutes later, the Huguenots answered. Gary Phillips follows his blockers. Nice move, finds daylight. 30 yards for the score, Neuro up 28-14. Fourth quarter, Neuro puts it away like they've done all season long. Tariq Benjamin with the shorty. Huguenots win 38-14. They'll meet Carmel in the section title game Saturday night.
So New Rochelle going back to a place it's
shocking
been every year. 4 straight years they'll go for their 5th straight title. And Carmel's only loss was to John Jay's Fishkill, but that was the first week of the season.
Right.
So you kind of got to throw that one out. Carmel's playing pretty good. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Not playing good enough to beat Neuro. I'm going to be honest. I've said it all season, so I'm not going to back down now. The way Neuro is beating everybody, they're not losing. It doesn't look like anytime soon.
Now, they might have home field advantage because their games are at Mayapack and Carmel's right next to Mayapack. But that might be the only advantage they're going to have. But it should be good. Carmel's been playing great. You know, give them credit, but Neuro's been steamrolling.
Is Neuro going to bring busloads of people down?
They usually don't.
Okay.
Not busloads. But, you know, I don't want to look too far ahead, but Shaker, the top team up in Albany. Lost. Newburgh just lost to Monroe Woodbury, which is a surprise. So whoever gets out of Section 1 could have a pretty good they're going to have a mountain to climb, but it might not be as tall. Let's just put it that way. All right?
So the road to Syracuse is a little easier.
A little, but I don't want to go crazy with that.
We can go crazy. Right. It's Neuro.
And we are crazy.
Yeah, we are crazy.
But yeah, Neuro, a good win. And the Patriots played them better than they did a few weeks back up in East Fishkill.
Sure.
So give John Jay a lot of credit there. And, you know, we'll see what happens next week. New Rochelle and Carmel. But also this weekend, Class B semifinals, Andrew. And defending champ Ardsley hosting Westlake in this one. Ardsley unbeaten, hasn't lost. Rolling along, and we'll see what they do against Westlake. All right, folks, we'll pick it up in the third quarter. The Panthers' Luke Mantini with the short pass to Jalen Leonard Osborne, and this is why Jalen is one of the best in the section. You know, they have that stat, yards after the catch. Well, this should be about 75 yards. It goes for a 39-yard touchdown, but it was a lot longer than that. It was 14-0 Ardsley there. Third quarter, Westlake trying to make up some ground, but Griffin Buckland comes up with the pick for the Panthers. The defending Class B champs are headed back to the section final as they win it 24-10. Okay, other Class B semi. Byram Hills taking on Pearl River. Bobcats came out hungry. Matt Weiler gets the toss, finds an opening, and watch the big fella go. He rumbles 85 yards to the end zone.
I see what you did there. Bobcats hungry.
Oh, yeah. He had 170 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns for Weiler. Still in the first, Stephen Franco showing his skills. Franco will not be denied. That's a 35-yard score.
The big fella.
Yeah, Byram Hills was rolling. The defense will get on the scoring as well. Daniel Ahern, nice interception there. He takes it back to the house. He had 2 interceptions in the game. Byram Hills rolls to the section final, winning 39-14. It'll be the Bobcats and the Panthers next week.
Let's check in with Class C. Dobbs, Ferry, and Woodlands. First quarter, Harry Dan keeps it and runs in from 13 yards out. Dobbs led 7-0. Second quarter, Woodlands on the march, but Omari Kendrick picked off by James McGovern. Nice job there. He was down. The Eagles trying to take advantage of the interception, but Deshaun Lewis says, I'll take care of that. The Falcons get it right back, and they're back in business. Time running out in the half. Kendrick looking and finds Lewis. A 9-yard Woodlands touchdown. Dobbs led 7-6 at the break. And the second half would go back and forth, but the clock ran out. Dobbs Ferry wins a nail-biter, 27-26.
Close one there, real close one. Now they're going to take on Valhalla next week. Valhalla had a bye into the Class C championship game, so they're going to play next week on Saturday. And in Class D, Haldane will take on Tuckahoe, which those are the only 2 teams in Class D, so they play every year.
Yeah, Class D obviously is bigger around the state. For anybody who doesn't know, the state. Upstate, you know, up by Canada and all that stuff. That's really where Class D is. There's not many down here. There's not many on Long Island.
In any sport.
Yeah, as I'm saying, in any sport, Class D. So I always feel like downstate schools are at a disadvantage in Class D. I feel, except for lacrosse Class D is.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
that's completely
it's different
but yeah.
because for whatever reason lacrosse is just different. But yeah, Class D is always at a disadvantage downstate, and when you win, it's nice. But those other teams are usually the powerhouses.
So we'll see what happens. Now, if we go back to B, Ardsley's going to have a rematch with Byram Hills. Ardsley, when they played Byram Hills, Byram didn't have Mr. Weiler there. So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a real good game. Matt is back for the Bobcats, so that should make a difference. It should be a stellar game. All the championship games next weekend should be good.
It's so we've spoken about this on the show. It's so hard to beat a team twice in one season.
Yep.
So they're getting their player back, which will help. But just in general, anytime you have to beat a team twice,
a
really good player. But anytime you have to beat a team twice, it's difficult.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a challenge.
And so the D game is going to be Friday afternoon at Mayapack, 4 o'clock around, and then the A game is that night. One thing about Rye, going back to that game and that win over Somers beat them earlier, as we talked about. Last year, Rye had one loss in the regular season. It was to Clarkstown South. They go into the playoffs. Rye goes to South in the section semis, and they win. Dino Gar changes up his script, so to speak, and just does a great job. And they did the same thing this year.
Beating a team twice, yeah.
You know, and Dino Gar and Tony DiMatteo, the two winningest coaches in Section 1. It was a classic matchup. But give a lot of credit to Dino. And now he's got Yorktown, who can run the ball.
Yeah.
Yorktown's defense is outstanding.
And coming off a big emotional win. I mean, when you take down the top seed, that gives a team a ton of confidence and a ton of momentum.
All right, well, we're going to talk some soccer when we come back, Andrew. And also, St. Thomas Aquinas basketball coach Tobin Anderson I sat down with as he and the Spartans get ready for the upcoming season. And yes, like I said, section championship weekend in soccer. We'll have that next. Welcome back. The boys Section 1 soccer championship games were held at Lakeland High School on Saturday. In Class AA, it was 1 versus 2. Top-seeded Ossining taking on Mamaroneck. The Pride won the regular season matchup in overtime. Great crowd on hand for this one. Well, the Tigers would get on the board first. Off the corner kick, Jack Radovich heads it home for a 1-0 lead. But Ossining would answer before the half was out. Junior Kevin Evans is going to come up with a nice play there to beat the goalie. It was tied at the break. Stayed that way until a minute and a half left in regulations, and it's Evans again. A perfectly placed shot. Top-seeded Ossining wins its first section title since 1978. The final 2-1.
It means a lot to us, the school, because we had a good season. We worked hard for this. Last year we made it to the finals, but we didn't win. We lost. So this year we really wanted to win it.
All right, how about Class A? Top-seeded Rye, winners of 13 straight, facing Somers, winners of 14 in a row. Tusker fans always such a great sport. All right, there's a goal there from Drew Lasher. The one-timer put the Tuskers up 1-0, but the Garnets answer 8 minutes later off the throw-in. Michael Trainer with a great goal. We were even at 1. Late in the half now. Garnet's on the attack again. Jonas Van Buren, great touch. Rye led 2-1 at the break. Second half, Somers now applying some pressure. Check out Daniel DiPolito. A great play, and he ties it up at 2. But with over 12 minutes to play, the Garnets, Anna Arslan, rips one into the net. Rye would make that stick for the first time since 1979. Rye wins the Soccer's Section Championship, the final 3-2.
We waited 40 years for this stuff, and then it just happened. We're so happy. All the work we put in through the season, the winter, spring, summer, it just happened.
All right, also heading to the state playoffs, Bronxville wins Class B, and Alexander Hamilton is crowned in Class C. Well, St. Thomas Aquinas College men's basketball coach Tobin Anderson has the highest winning percentage over the last 4 years than any Division I or Division II men's program in the state. I sat down with Anderson this past week to talk about his success on the court and a recent ruling by the NCAA on student athletes playing for pay. 7 years, it's amazing how quickly time goes.
Yeah, it flies by, it does.
What have you learned in your 7 years since you've come here?
That's a great question. I mean, I think you kind of learn how to go with the flow a little bit. It's Stack. We've had to be creative as far as how we run our program, and how we recruit and how we build up the program overall. So I learned a lot about what it takes to get to the next level, to be successful, to put together an overall great program. And so it's been one day at a time, 1 year at a time, and time kind of flies a little bit. But it's I've also learned that it's about the kids. It's about we've had great players and great character guys, and that's been the key for our success, I think.
One of them is Justin Reyes. When you came here, he was here. The best player to come out of St. Thomas Aquinas, hands down.
Yes.
But you've been able to keep up that level of play that he kind of brought here.
Yeah. We had good players around Justin too, so it's a lot. Justin gets a lot of credit. Obviously, he's a great, incredible player, incredible talent. We also had good guys around him as well. And then even now, we have good. We don't have a Justin Reyes now. We have a lot of guys who are really good scholarship college players. Overall, 1 through 15 guys who can play at this level and help us win.
You have numerous conference championships. You went to the Division II national tournament twice. Sweet 16 last year. A couple years ago, it was the Elite Eight.
Yep.
How are you able to get these players in here, knowing that St. Thomas Aquinas is not the biggest Division II school you're going to find? Yeah. The size of the gym isn't the biggest. How do you do it?
Well, I think success begets success sometimes. We've had success, and guys want to be part of that. They want to win. Kids want to win. Guys want to win. People want to be around a winning program. So once we start having some success, I think we've now been able to open some new doors to other places, other programs, to a national recruiting situation. So, we've been to 4 straight NCAA tournaments. That's a great streak. We want to try to keep that thing going. And it's a challenge. It's hard. Winning is hard. Winning is hard, especially at this level. But we've been lucky at times too. We stayed healthy, things like that. So, you knock on wood, and hopefully this year could be another great year for us.
And you've also been able to keep some kids home.
Yes.
Some highly talented kids from Rockland and Westchester that have been a big part of your program, and they are going to be this year.
Absolutely, and I think that's a huge thing for fan support, for local flavor, to have Kevin Lynch from Tappan Zee High School, who's been tremendous for us from a leadership standpoint, from a toughness standpoint. He keeps us loose all the time. He's great. And then Dimitri Roberts from Mount Vernon, who's an outstanding, one of the best point guards right now in the conference, in the region, and as time goes on, probably the country. So try to protect home base right now and get the local guys here, and then also go out and get some guys outside the area as well. So it's been a nice mix of that kind of situation.
This past week, I know there were rulings in the NCAA about student athletes could make money with endorsements and stuff. Your thoughts on that?
It's a very complicated situation, very complicated issue, because obviously money's being made somewhere, so it'd be nice to see some of the athletes who are actually responsible for bringing a lot of the fans and people there to benefit from that. And obviously, a lot of college student athletes don't have a lot of money. They're not meals and extra things they don't have. So there'd be a nice way of trying to help them out a little bit that way too. But it's very complicated as far as the levels: Division I, Division II, Division III, different sports from men's basketball and football to cross country and hockey. There's just a lot of different angles to that situation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but we'll be watching. Obviously, every coach is kind of watching to see what's going to happen next, and it'll take some time before we finally settle on a final resolution for that.
Great job, Tobin.
Awesome. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete. Great luck this year.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Well, St. Thomas Aquinas opens its season this Saturday down in Philadelphia. All right, when we come back, we'll show you our play of the week, and it's a beauty. The New 12 Sports for Us will be back right after this. Welcome back. We'll stay with soccer for our play of the week. It was a section semifinal game between John Jay East Fishkill and Mamaroneck. It was scoreless in overtime. The Tigers' Liam O'Reilly with the corner kick. Check out Matt Giraldo. A picture-perfect header. Woo! Just over the goalie's outstretched arms.
Oh, yeah.
How about the lift? Actually, both Matt and the defender. Great header there. Mamaroneck would celebrate a great goal and a win. But as you already know, they lost in the section final to Ossining. But
he should be a basketball player. He's got some jump.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
Scoreless game.
You've never seen me jump, but that's pretty good.
No, I haven't seen you jump. I've never seen you play basketball or soccer. But
Those who
great goal
don't
there.
play report. How about that? That's my motto.
Amen to that. But great goal by there. So anyway, Catholic League football. We didn't talk about that this week because both Iona Prep and Stepanak had byes because they're 1 and 2.
Yep.
Next week they're going to play in the AAA semifinals. Iona Prep's going to take on Cardinal Hayes,
who absolutely demolished St. Anthony's this weekend.
So they're playing
demolished
good. And they played them a couple weeks ago and won pretty handily in the Bronx.
Yeah, I think it was I think Hayes put up 62 points or something
this
like
weekend?
that. Yeah, so demolished.
So they're ready.
So they're coming off a big win. Yep.
And then Archbishop Stepanak is in action against Christ the King.
Should be some good semifinals.
It should be really good. Yeah. Should be outstanding football. We'll of course have that right here on the Sports Rush next Monday night. Plus, we're going to have Section 1 championship games. It should be pretty exciting
Love
stuff.
it.
A lot of football.
Love it.
Playoffs are here. Soccer's going upstate. A bunch of our soccer teams are heading upstate for playoffs. It's getting good.
Fun
buddy.
time. I love it.
Good. All right, thanks for joining us for Andrew Rappaport. I'm Pete Ruff. We'll see you next Monday on the Sports Rush.